Welcome to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. I'm Jody Walls.
I'm Brady Brock.
We're with GumTree Mortgage here in New Albany over on Starling Avenue. We specialize in home financing needs, whether it's a purchase, a refinance, or a new construction.
And we're super passionate about trying to help you find the home of your dreams, help you get it financed, just like this one right here.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Game. If you come out and hit them in the mouth on the first play, we're going to be fine.
I'd like to welcome you here today for Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield, brought to you today by
GumTree Mortgage, Jody Walls, and Brady Brock, and also Pam Brown State Farm. Those two guys and the ladies have done a good job. They support us every year, so we're really appreciative of what they do for us.
Sure. Well, Coach, hey, best time of the year. Football coming into season, coming off a great year last year, went 7-4 last year. And actually went 7-4 with a really, really young group of kids, right?
Yeah, we were definitely a young team. You know, we're excited about the finish. You always want to do better. You know, 7-4 was a winning record. You're never satisfied with that. But it's a great time of the year, like you said. We've been working all summer really hard. Those kids are excited about it. You know, we're right here, ready to start the season against Saltillo. Had a good jamboree last week. So a lot of anticipation. These guys are ready. They've been hitting each other a long time now. They're ready to go out and play.
Well, I know one thing. You know, when the season ended last year, you started working on this year, right?
Yeah.
I know you've had a busy summer. You've seen a lot of guys progress, a lot of excitement, especially, in the quarterback position. Right. We have a guy in Braden Shettles who had a great freshman year. We're building on that. What are you seeing out of him so far?
Yeah, Braden's one of those guys, like we said, being a young team. He was a freshman last year, played the whole season as a freshman quarterback. He's still got 3 years left to play, so that experience he has now as a sophomore. A lot of quarterbacks don't play their sophomore season with the whole year under their belt. So that's going to be critical for him. He's going to be able to execute the offense more effectively because of that experience. So it's something we're excited about. As one season ends, like you said, the other one begins. We went into, as soon as that season ends, we got some guys that go to basketball, some guys that go to baseball, and they continue to work through those sports. But the other guys that are here, they go right into the weight room, right into work, working on getting that next season. So. And then when those guys finish up basketball and baseball and they get back to us, they jump in and right immediately and start too. So, with that hard work, that dedication, that desire to be successful, there's a lot of anticipation. And that's where we're at right now. They put in the time, they put in the work. Now it's time to get to go play and have fun.
Well, and I know there's a lot of excitement on the offensive side of the ball with Braden and such. And I know last week we had our jamboree over at Nettleton. Our defense had kind of set the tone over there last weekend leading into the season with the jamboree, didn't they?
Yeah, we're excited about those guys on defense. I think our front seven are really, really good. They've got a lot of experience there. We've got some defensive line that we think can be really, really good for us this year. Jaden Hicks, Emmanuel Tucker, Jackson Howard, those three, you'll see those guys starting, and they can get after it. Jaden Hicks' first two steps are extremely fast. Emmanuel Tucker, when he wants to turn it on, nobody can block him. And then Cheese, Jackson Howard's name, we call him Cheese, but he does a great job. He's a two-gap guy, knows that gets after it. He's an athletic big guy, and he's only a sophomore. So of those three, Jackson Howard and Emmanuel Tucker are sophomores, and Jaden Hicks is a junior. So they're all, got time to play and get better and better. And then behind those guys, there's some other guys. There's some depth there that we're excited about. You move past the defensive line, you look into the linebacking group. You've got guys like Drew Hobson and Cortland Earl that are going to lead that. Those guys are been playing football a long time. Jack Keener was there. Jack suffered a knee injury, last week, so he's going to be out for a while. But, that would have been three seniors right there leading that linebacker core. With him out, Parker Skinner's going to get a lot of reps there at inside, and Zion Robinson will be that other outside linebacker for us starting. So you'll see other guys filter in there, but we're excited about those front seven. I think they got speed, strength, and can do some good things. And then we've got some experience behind those. So really excited about the defensive guys. They played well, didn't give up a whole lot. I don't think Boone got past the 50. That's something when, Coach Hammond was here last year, did a really good job for us. He's gone on. Coach Murphy has stepped up to the plate. He's going to be our DC this year. So all the pressure's on him. He's just got to keep shutting them out. No, but he's doing a really good job, and so we're excited about Coach Murphy and what he's going to bring to the table. Offensively, we lost some key pieces last year, but got a lot of guys coming back. One of our big playmakers, Caleb Shaw, was back. Keelan Simpson is a running back. He's a bruiser. On Friday night, the lights are on. He's a gamer and gives it a lot of effort, and will do some good things. That offensive line, as we go on and on, is getting better and better. They're a critical part of it every year, so we're excited about seeing what they do. And that jamboree was just a taste of that, right? So, we've got guys at receiver that can make plays. We're really excited about the season.
Well, I know the jamboree, we played a really good Boonville club,
Yeah.
and I think we beat them 28-0 in the final in the jamboree situation.
Yeah, it was kind of a modified scrimmage kind of situation. We went into that. We've done it that way several years in a row. You have 6 minutes of offense, 6 minutes of defense, then you flip that and do it again, and then you do the same thing with JV and have the kicking game spread through the middle. Had some scoreboard issues, some technical issues, so we went into possessions. Us and Boonville, we all got 6 possessions. So of our 6, we scored 4, and we held Boonville scoreless with the varsity. So, they're going to be a really good team. Coach Brown does a good job with those guys, and they're going to do well. So, but we put on a good show, and I think we had a good showing, and we're excited about what we did that night.
Well, I know leading in, this is going to be the first game of the year, regular season game. I know we're coming to a new division, right?
Yep.
Do we have any new non-conference teams that we're playing?
Yeah, so the division shifted a little bit. In our division this year, there's 5 teams. Of those 5, 4 make the playoffs. It's got New Albany, New Albany, Senatobia, Bahia, North Pontotoc, and South Pontotoc. So, when we look at our schedule, we play a really tough non-division schedule, and then you go into the division, and we hopefully do well. Hopefully, put together a good time. Bottom line, where we're at, we have to stay healthy. But if we can do that, we feel good about our chances and excited about what this year can bring.
Well, I know we've talked a little bit about, the spring game and everything. You've also got some new faces on your coaching staff this year, don't you? I know you mentioned losing Coach Hammond.
Right. Coach Hammond, Coach Channing Ward, and Taylor Good, those guys have gone on to different things. And anytime you have some change in coaching staff, it's a big critical piece to the puzzle. We've been very fortunate to have good coaches in the past, and that's something that's continued. We've got 3 new additions to our high school staff, and we're excited about every one of them. Ryan Summers is a guy, who's going to help you at the middle school, do the middle school program. He's also going to be a big help to us on the defensive side of the ball in the high school. He's going to help Coach Murphy with those linebackers, and we've done it a little bit different. He's coaching every one of those guys. In the past, we've had a guy do inside backers and a guy doing outside. Coach Kerbo is going to help him a little bit, but he's going to be primary coach for all 4 of those linebackers. So he's new, and we're excited about what he brings to the table. Been a long-time head coach at Saltillo. The next guy is Rico McDonald. Every time I talk about Rico, can't help but say, he's Delta State's all-time leading rusher. He's a guy that just down the road that everybody in Ripley knows. So, anytime we can get one of those guys, we're excited about that. And we know he's going to do a great job. He's a great human being, great coach. He's tough on kids, has a high expectation, and has done a really, really good job for us. And then last but not least, Josh Kerbo. Josh has been here. I think he was here for 4 years previously. We came into New Albany together, 5 or 6 years ago. Last year he went and kind of helped with Myrtle's program, was the head coach at Myrtle for a year. And just fortunately, he came back to us. We're excited about him coming back. Did a really good job for a year at Myrtle, and he's going to do good things for us. So we're really excited about him coming back.
Sure. Well, look, we're going to go to a break here, and then we're going to plan on bringing on a couple of those guys to actually sit down and talk to us tonight and tell us a little bit about how they're transitioning to New Albany and some of the things about them. So we'll take you to a break at this time, and we'll be right back with you at the New Albany Football Coaches Show with Coach Cody Stubblefield. Okay, I'd like to welcome you back to our show. We have with us Coach Rico McDonald. Coach, how's it been in New Albany so far?
Been good, man. I'm enjoying my time here, getting the opportunity to work here, work with these other coaches and work with these kids. And I'm really looking forward to the season.
Well, awesome. I know. Can you tell us a little bit? I think you brought your son and your family's with you here, and he's enrolled in school. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I got a son that's a 7th grader that's here. My daughter is in her 2nd year at Northeast, and my wife, we still live in Ripley, but my son's here, a little closer to home from where I've been in the past, so that's a plus. So I'm looking forward to it.
I was in your building today, and y'all had a little dodgeball deal. And I saw Colin's son out there, and he's just beaming folks. So I know he had a big time at school today. Anytime, I know from being around him a little bit, anytime with athletics, he's playing 7th grade football, he gets after it. I enjoyed watching him earlier today.
Yeah, I tell you, those kids had a really good time today, and we try and make school as fun as we can, of course, Tell Tell us a little bit about what are you coaching for us over here?
I'll be doing wide receivers. Something that I really love doing. I've done it in the past, and we've had some pretty good passing games in the past when I've done it. And I've been away from it a few years, and just kind of being able to do it again, man. I'm really back, I guess you could say, in my element, I guess.
Well, most recently, before you came to New Albany, where were you coaching up?
I was at Amory last year, and I did DBs at Amory last year. So,
Coach has done both sides of the ball. I know he spent some time at Ripley as defensive coordinator. He's at Lafayette prior to Amory, so been around some really good programs. Played college ball at a really high level. Just brings a lot of football knowledge to the staff. So anytime we can get that, we're always excited about it. Has jumped in there, already built relationships with those receivers guys. Stays on those running backs too, and just does a good job for us. This is a low key guy, but we get him out of the field, he turns it up. So it's always fun out there. We have a good time.
Well, I know the other night at the JV game when we were watching it, Coach McDonald was kind of pulling those guys over and putting an arm around them, saying, I coach them up, and everything. And, we need that out there and coaching them hard, high expectations, And I know this year everybody's excited about New Albany football. We're in a good division. We're ready to roll, and got some really, really good young talent, on both sides of the ball, and got some veteran leadership too that's doing things the right way.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good mix, and receivers the same way. There's some guys that have been there, and then some young guys coming up that we're excited about. Caleb Shaw is, again, he's a guy that is going to be a big play guy for us. Caleb Shumpert's got some guys, got some offers there to do some good things. Any of those guys you want to talk about, Bracken, whatever?
Just the group as a whole. I think as a whole, they're a close group, and they all kind of work together. And I'm really enjoying working with them, and just they filling me out just as well as I'm filling them out. But I'm looking forward to doing some good things with these guys this year.
Jeb Boland's another guy. Jeb's just a scrappy, tough guy. I think one of our guys that runs really good routes, and I know that he's going to be a big part of it too. So all those guys. But anytime we run a spread offense, those guys are going to roll in, roll out. So he gets to coach a lot of them.
Well, Coach, we're very excited to have you on the show tonight. Appreciate you taking time to come by and see us, and we look forward to seeing you on the sidelines Friday night.
I appreciate you having me.
You look good in that maroon too, man.
I know it.
Hey, we'll be right back with another member of our coaching staff in just a moment. Okay, I'd like to welcome you back to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. We have another member of his staff, Coach Ryan Summers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We were looking for another assistant guy, somebody that potentially could run the middle school program. Coach Murphy has some experience with Coach Summers. I know when I was at Tupelo with Coach Hammond, we talked about Coach Summers a lot. You were at Saltillo at the time when that was. So had the opportunity to start looking around. Coach Summers expressed some interest after talking with him and Coach Murphy and whatnot. Kind of everything fell into place. Coach Summers is going to not only do the middle school program, but he's also going to help us with linebackers. So really excited. Anytime you get guys that have had head coaching experience, that have done that, have coached it for a long time, got plenty of experience, that's a big asset to any football program.
Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about where you've been coaching and all. I know, tell our viewers they want to know a little bit about our coaching staff.
Well, this is 28th season that I get to coach.
I told you had experience.
Yeah.
I have been in a lot of different places in Northeast Mississippi, Corinth for the longest, Pontotoc a couple of times, Amory as the defense coordinator there. Pat Bird called me and became the DC at Saltillo, and then when he left, I was the head coach there for 4 years. Last year, I was back at Corinth for a season, and then Kendall called me about Christmas time and asked if I was interested in that, and my family had stayed in Saltillo, so I was driving back and forth, and this was a lot closer, and when I came over here and talked to Cody and you, I knew that this was the place I wanted to be.
Well, I know it's very exciting to see the experience and you bringing, kind of putting pieces of the puzzle together, right, Coach Stubblefield?
Yeah.
Kind of figuring out the right fit and the right people in the right position to really coach up our kids, especially top to bottom. It starts down there in 7th and 8th grade. building your program, and you're just now kind of reaping the rewards of all that, your hard work the last few years.
Well, any program is only as strong as those coaches, that group of guys. And I'm very fortunate to have a really strong group of coaches that coach with us. And not only that, but a great group of men that are leading guys, and trying to, we want every one of those guys in that locker room to be better men one day. And so they get that, they know that, understand that, and help with that. And then other than that, we spend a lot of time together. Anytime you're in football season, you're going to be down there at that field house, game planning, washing clothes, doing all kind of different things. And so we got a group of guys that we enjoy spending time with, that goof off, that play around, and have fun being around each other too. So as much working as going in and goes into the football program, again, you need to be around guys that you enjoy working with.
Well, no doubt, and chemistry within that staff is essential for you to reach your full potential. Coach, what are you going to be coaching for the high school? I know you're our head junior high coach, right?
Right.
What are you going to be doing over at the high school?
I'm going to be coaching the linebackers. I'll have the inside and outside linebackers, and it is a fun group to coach. Got a lot of experience. They're very coachable young guys, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Coach, tell us a little bit about some of those guys. I know we talked about Drew Hobson earlier, Jack Kenner, but just talk about a few of those guys.
Those guys. Drew is the motor. He's a nonstop energy guy.
Drew loves playing football, right?
He loves playing
He loves contact too, doesn't he?
He loves contact, which is, I love linebackers that like to hit. Zion Robinson.
Zion.
He's a tremendous athlete back there. Parker had to kind of step in after Jack got hurt and has done a tremendous job there.
And both those guys played a lot last year. Parker, we had an injury that Drew was out for a while. Parker came in, played a good bit as a freshman. Zion played a lot of different positions last year. So those are young guys, but they've got some experience, and hopefully that obviously leads to them being better this season.
Yeah, and you have Cortland Earl on one side, and his experience and his length makes it really, really fun to coach.
And Cortland's another guy. Cortland played safety for us last year. He's not at safety anymore. He's rolled down, going to play that outside linebacker. Does some of the same things, but he's going to be closer to the box, obviously. Right. And I think he's going to do a good job for us there.
I think he's going to do great.
Well, one thing I'm hearing is, we're hearing different names and different positions from where they were playing last year, some of them, right?
I think defensively, you've got guys like Cortland Earl. DJ Robinson is a guy for us that can play a lot of different places.
Right.
DJ's playing some safety. He's been playing a little bit of outside linebacker. He's played slot receiver. He also plays running back. Had a really good job in the spring game. Had a couple touchdowns. The jamboree. But yeah, I think those are the big pieces that have moved. Those linemen are still there. Jackson Howard played a lot of offensive line for us last year. We said earlier, he's shifted over to that nose guard position. Ethan Conley's a guy that'll come in and play some D-line as well. That's pretty set. But I guess the big moving pieces are DJ Robinson's playing a lot of different spots now. Cortland Earl is down at linebacker. And so those are some different spots for those guys.
Sure. Well, Coach, so you had a good experience here in your Albany so far?
I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here. This has been a wonderful place to work, and the guys that I'm working with, both at the middle school and the high school, they're fun guys to be around. They're knowledgeable. Their work ethic is high. Their character's high, and when you're around men like that, it makes the job fun, makes the job easy, and it makes you enjoy what you're doing.
Coach, talk about the middle school for a second. 8th grade wise, I know we've got some really good skill guys wise there. Cam Ray, Scooter, some of those guys. Talk a little bit about the 8th grade first.
The 8th grade has a lot of talent. We kind of ran into a very large Pontotoc team Monday night. We'll rebound on that Monday.
Pontotoc's had a couple of years. Last year's 8th grade team was really good. They played JV and 9th grade football. And that 8th grade, they were a good group too.
The coaches I talked to said these are the two best classes they've had come through back to back.
Well, they're also, they've moved up classification in size too. Pontotoc had.
Yeah, they're in 5A. They're playing
right
in some of those schools.
Yeah. So the 8th grade, lots of talent, lots of speed. Got a few linemen in there as well. They're a lot of fun to coach. It's been a while since I've coached junior high kids, so I'm having to kind of readjust how they work. But they're fun to be around. There's a lot of camaraderie in the locker room.
In junior high, my experience, they're like a sponge. They're soaking it up,
Yeah, they
and,
soak
that
up
is,
everything.
that's always fun, when you're out there coaching it. Even though you may have to tell them a few more times, right? They're definitely soaking it up, and that junior high is definitely the foundation of any program, So, like I said, that was in hiring Coach Summers and hiring that position. Coach Murphy went over and did it with you for a year last year. Gave him some experience and to run that program and doing it. He wanted to come back and do the defense, so we were able to do that. But it is a critical position, from experience of being a head coach, to how critical that middle school program is year in and year out.
Yeah, if you have the right person in your middle school feeding to your high school, there's no transition period really.
Right.
They just move right on and mature and do the same things. As far as terminology, scheme, expectations, the culture of the program, then there's no ups and downs.
Sure.
It's a consistent building process for the young man.
Yeah, Coach, I know we're glad to have you. I'm glad you took the job, obviously, and you're here. I think the fact that you're involved in both programs is going to pay dividends for us down the road. I know we appreciate you. I know you're doing a great job with those linebackers and the middle school, and just excited about his group, the middle school, and where we're headed as a football program.
No doubt. Well, Coach, thank you for stopping by for our show tonight, and we'll take it to a break at this time. I'd like to welcome you back to our show. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you. Excited to be back.
Josh was here. 6 years ago, I think we started here at the same time. I came in, became the head coach. He helped with both programs at that point, did junior high and high school. Also did softball. Became a year later, I think, became the head softball coach. Has coached baseball, softball, soccer, football, a little bit of everything, right? Ooh. Go back through what all you've coached in your career.
Well, you hit it all except for I did track first couple of years at Horn Lake and first couple of years at Lewisburg. I did some track as well. So,
well, and Coach Curbo, like I said, we spent, 4 years together. Coach Curbo did a tremendous job for us early on, and was just a lot of fun to be around. Obviously, like we talked about earlier about the camaraderie of the staff and how much time we spend together, and just wanting a group of guys that are good men that filters out into those guys and those boys in the locker room, and then spending time together. But had the opportunity to bring Coach Curbo back, and we jumped on as quick as we could. And so just glad you're back, Coach. And, we're excited about Mr. Henry.
Well, and it's the thing. I feel like he never left, right? I feel like he came back and didn't miss a beat. I know the kids. We're very excited to have your family back here in our district also.
AJ was doing a little bit of that dodgeball today, too. I talked about Coach McDonald earlier. They were both out there. So
he would. But
and he's also an A3 football player, too. So we're excited about AJ being back as well.
Yeah, well, I know Coach Curbo is not a stranger in anybody in New Albany. I feel like you're part of the family, and you just went away on vacation for a year and then came back, Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be coaching for the high school this year.
Be coaching running backs, and I think the most unique thing about the running backs this year is that for only the second time in my career, I've gotten to coach those guys all the way up from the 7th grade. So every single one of them at some point from the 7th grade to now, I've gotten the opportunity to have them in my position group. So I think that's really cool.
Keelan Simpson, back there, has been a phenomenal middle school player, has kind of been a part of the running back, hasn't been that primary back in years past for us, but has always been a huge weapon for us. Has gotten plenty of reps, plenty of things. But now it's kind of on Keelan this year, he is our primary running back this year, and he's going to get the ball a lot, right?
That's right. He's a good football player, got good vision, understands the game well. I think as we progress through the season, he'll work himself into shape where we can continue to rely on him more and more the closer we get to the playoffs. But we've also got some really good depth there at the running back position as
absolutely.
well.
Talk about a few of those other guys.
Well, you got DJ Robinson, who has really good vision as well, likes to have football in his hands. Zion Robinson, who we also had at the junior high a couple of years ago, has done a really good job for us all the way through, I think.
And DJ's kind of new to it, right?
Yeah.
But Zion had played it last year, had some glimpses of him playing running back, and did a really good job last year, too.
Zion's a really good running back. He runs low to the ground. He understands the game. Got really good vision.
Yeah.
And then we got Nehemiah Boyd, who we don't, take any step back at all, in my opinion, with him in the game. He's a fast back, and like the rest of them, understands the game and runs the ball hard.
I feel like our running back core this year is just going to explode. You know, you're waiting for any time one of them touches the ball, they can go to the house, right?
That's correct.
You know, you've got Keelan as a guy who, man, I'd hate to be the linebacker that has to step in the middle of that hole and take him head on with a head of steam, you know.
That's right.
And then you got somebody like, you know, anytime DJ touches the ball, he's a threat, you know. It's just exciting to see kind of what y'all going to do with those guys, putting them and getting the ball to them where they can make it happen, you know.
You know, like I said, we're excited about those running backs. Coach, when we talk about offensive, Coach Kerbo is one of the better offensive minds I've coached with. You know, does a really good job. We've got Coach Robbins going to call a lot of the offense this year. You know, Coach Stubbs still our offensive coordinator. Coach Robbins is going to call a lot of it. And then Coach Kerbo, Coach McDonald. You know, I've been very involved in offense and calling a lot of the offense in years past. I've kind of stepped back a little bit, and those guys are doing a phenomenal job. It's going to allow me to kind of manage that game a little bit more, I think. And you know how that goes. I mean, it's hard when you're managing the game and also trying to call those plays. So, you know, film study, game planning. Coach Kerbo does it all and does a tremendous job. So he's going to be a huge asset to that offense.
Well, no, any time you can bring a head coach from any school in as an assistant, it's like, man, it's taking weight off your shoulders, and Coach Stubblefield.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Coach Kerbo has been a head coach before. Coach Summers, we talked about, has been a head coach before. Coach Robbins, Dennis Robbins, is one of the, you know, the leading winningest coaches in Pontotoc history. You know, I coached there for 10 years. That experience,
Coach
that
Summers
value.
too, right?
Yeah, that's Coach Summers, Coach Kerbo, and Coach Robbins.
Right.
You know, all three of those guys have been head coaches before. There's a lot of experience on that staff. You know, Colin's been doing it for a long time now. Coach Murphy's been the coordinator for a long time now. Coach thinks we're really not as young as we used to be. I mean, that staff's getting a little bit older, so.
Hey, I don't want y'all talking about age now. Y'all can't do that now.
But you know, but there's a lot of experience down there, and that's a huge asset for us for sure.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thank you for stopping by tonight to be on the show, and we look forward to Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Coach, he's also going to do a little baseball. You know, he's helping Coach Wheeler too. So, you know,
Add to that list of things, Coach. There.
My man can't focus on one thing. He got to stay busy. So we're excited about him helping with football and baseball this year.
All right, Coach. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll take it to a break. Okay, I'd like to welcome you back to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. Coach, we got the Saltillo Tigers coming to town Friday night, right?
Yeah, you know, like you said, you know, when you wrap up one season, you jump right into the next. It's been a long time since we've got to actually suit up and play another opponent in a real football game. So we're excited about it. Saltillo is a 6A program, you know, a bigger school, but, you know, we're going to get out there and give them everything we've got. And excited about some good competition. Said earlier, our non-division schedule is pretty tough this year, and so it opens up with them. So, you know, excited about 7 o'clock getting here. Kicking it off, Coach Finch is the head coach at Saltillo, does a really good job with those guys. You know, they're going to come in here and play really hard and get after it. They're going to be a hard-nosed group of guys, but, you know, we're excited about it. You know, we think we've got a chance this year to be a really, really good football team. You know, offensively, like I said, we've got Braden Shettles, who's got a whole year of experience. Keelan Simpson is back as a senior. Our offensive line is anchored by Ethan Conley and Ethan Cathy. You know, those guys are two seniors for us that do a really good job, and then there's some young guys behind them. JT Newby is going to play left tackle for us. Horn is going to be at our left guard, and then Big Sam Morton is going to be that right guard. So Sam's a 10th grader. You know, I know you know Sam well. At receiver, you can see a bunch of guys. You know, Caleb Shaw is a big play guy. DJ Robinson, Caleb Shumpert, Jeb Bolin is a solid player for us that just does a lot of really good things. If his hands touch the ball, he's going to catch it, kind of thing. You know, and then there's some other guys that are going to mix in there that do a really good job for us too. So offensively, we're excited about it. You know, you know, Coach Robbins, Coach Stubblefield, Coach Kerbo, Coach McDonald. You know, we're expecting a lot of points this year. You know, and then defensively, Coach, you know, Murphy started off week the jamboree. You know, I don't think they crossed the 50. So you know, I keep setting the bar up there for him too. You know, but all that said and done, you know, those coaches work really hard. Those kids work really hard. Drew Hobson's going to lead that defense. You know. Drew is we talk about all the time. He's not a bull in a china shop. He's the bull in the hardware store. You know, he does a really good job, though. He gets after it. We think that defensive line led by Jaden Hicks can be dominant this year. And then Jeb Bolin is also going to be on defense. He's going to be at safety. Caleb Shaw is going to be back there. And then at corner, you're going to see a lot of guys. McCallan Cameron's a guy that played a lot last year. We can depend on. You know, and then that other one, we've got guys like Jalen Nesbitt, LaDarian Gilbert. And then, you know, a few other guys that'll get mixed in there. So, Just excited about that. Special teams is something I'm going to do most of those this year. I'm excited about that. We kind of make it more of a priority for me. It's always huge, important. You want to lose a game, play bad on special teams, So we're excited about that. Grayson Alexander's coming back. Grayson played as an 8th grade with the varsity team. Him and Whit Robbins, kicked for us a lot. Grayson is a phenomenal talent. He's a great soccer player, but the man can kick it with his right foot, his left foot. From 42, he's good. Just have a high expectation for that 9th grader. So he's going to do a really good job for us. D. Johnson is coming out with us. He hasn't played. He played junior high, played when he was younger. He's going to come out and punt for us. And when D gets a hold of it, he can really boom it. You'll see Braden back there at punter also. But just, we're really excited about a lot of guys playing, the youth of our team, the talent that's on it, the coaching staff. Just feel like we've got a lot going for us, So Saltillo's going to roll in here. But we're going to have something waiting for them, so we're excited about that and just looking forward to it.
Well, I know our viewers want to know a little bit about Saltillo and who we match up and how we match up. On the defensive side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, tell us a little bit about what they're on defense.
I think Saltillo's they've got 7 guys returning on the defensive side of the ball. If you evaluate them on film, I think their defense stands out above their offense. I think defensively they're really good. They've got a lot of 6'1" guys, 200-pound guys that are out there. That are flying the football. They're doing a good job. I think we might outmatch them some skill positions. I think we may bring a little more speed to the field, but they're going to be some guys that are hard to move in the box, and they're going to first and foremost they're going to try to stop the run. So we're going to do some things to try to combat that. We're still always going to try to run the football, but one of our strengths is getting the ball on the edge, some of that speed, whether it's in screen game or passing downfield. And like I said, we've got a really good quarterback and some receivers that we think can do that. So that's always exciting. Offensively, they're pretty big up front. They've got a mobile quarterback that's going to try to run the ball. And the Jamboree versus Pontotoc, they played. There wasn't any offensive touchdowns in the game. I think the score was 12-0. Pontotoc had a pick 6, a field goal, and I think a safety. So didn't have a whole lot of offense. And that's kind of typical a lot of times, as offense. It takes a little bit longer for that offense to get going. But I know, like I said, Coach Finch is going to do a good job. They're going to win a lot of games this year. And I think from an offensive standpoint, that quarterback that they've got, when he gets on the edge, he can run pretty well. So there's certainly some guys that we've got to pay attention to and going to have to make sure we hone in on.
Well, can you tell our fans out there who are some of their numbers to watch?
Yeah, the quarterback's number 9. Like I said, he's a really good player. They've got a special receiver out there. Their safety's a 3-star kid. So that safety's a guy that we're going to have to know where he's at. We got a couple of big, powerful running backs, 3 and 5. Number 5, went and watched them last year play Nettleton and was really impressed with number 5 at the running back position. Just a hard runner and hard to bring down. He's going to play receiver and running back, so he's a guy that they'll move around. So they've certainly got weapons, right? Some big size, some size guys that run the ball effectively. Any football game just about is matched up when you control the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be critical for us both on the offensive side and the defensive side to see who wins that battle. Because honestly, I think whoever wins that controls the line of scrimmage Friday night, I think they'll probably come out on top.
Well, and I know Coach Cody Stubblefield has been coaching his guys up in the trenches pretty heavy, right?
Yeah, Collins does a really good job of the offense. This is his 6th year now, too. Played at Delta State, was an All-American there. Coached at Pontotoc, had a lot of success at Pontotoc. You were the principal there at the time. It does a really good job. Brings a toughness and a mental edge to our guys. If they screw up, he's on them, and he's on them hard. So. And with that comes a love that those guys are going to run through a brick wall for us. So does a tremendous job coaching the offensive line. On the other side, the defensive side, we knew losing Coach Ward that we would have a gap there. And some of the transition of the coaches, Coach Sanks did do the linebackers last year, or he did outside linebackers. This year he's doing those defensive linemen. And we really think those defensive linemen can be difference makers for us this year. Jaden Hicks, Emmanuel Tucker, Jackson Howard, and some other guys that roll in with them. Ethan Conley will come over there and be a 2-way guy. But those guys are special players, and Coach Sanks is coaching them up as well.
Well, hearing you say a big up front Saltillo group, right? That's really going to challenge our defensive front there.
Well, and I think that goes back to Coach Finch. His first and foremost, he's the defense he's in. He's trying to stop the run. He's going to load the box, keep as many guys in the box as he possibly can, which presents opportunities in the passing game and whatnot. So that's where I know Coach Robbins and Coach Stubblefield, those guys are going to look at that, see that. Anytime you're running a spread offense, you're trying to spread the field, manipulate the defense, and find out where some weaknesses are. So that's things we've been working on all week. So we're going to spread the ball around. We're going to make sure we get a hat on the offensive line. And then, like I said, we've got Keelan Simpson, a big running back there that can pound it too. So I feel good about it.
Well, I know there's a lot of excitement this year around New Albany football.
Yeah.
We can't wait to kind of get the ball rolling and show what we've got out there coming up.
Well, there's not a better place to live. It's a great place. It's a great school district. And our hope is that year in and year out, we get better and better and the expectations build. And in general, the program grows. So we've got a phenomenal group of young men down there, and they're working hard right now. So we're excited about it.
Well, and it makes you feel proud of, you've got our coaching staff changing. They're bringing their families in.
Yeah.
Their children are thriving here in our district, and that's what we're here for. We want to be great in athletics, academics, activities,
Sure.
The arts, everything here in New Albany district. I know that's a great thing about New Albany. We want to be the best in everything we do.
Well, that locker room's a family. Those coaches, we're a family as a group, and then each of their families are a big part of it. We had Meet the Bulldogs the other Friday night, a couple weeks ago. And when it was over, we cleaned up different things. And Coach Murphy had his family in there. Coach Kerbo had his family. Coach McDonald was in there, and his kids in for a while. And I had Ray was with me. So it was fun to see those kids ripping and romping in that locker room after we were cleaning up and stuff. And that's what it's all about. We want those kids and those players to become better men. We also want to win on Friday night, and we want to enjoy spending time together and enjoy each other. So anytime you're playing a game, there's pressure to win, and we want that pressure, right? We tell them all the time, we're doing this to win, and we're working hard. It's not easy. Football is a game that not everybody's going to play, not everybody can do. It's tough when it's 95 degrees, 100 degrees outside, and they've got pads on, they're getting after it. It's a physical sport, right? And practice is difficult. So it's not always easy, but it's always worth it, is what I tell them.
Well, and these guys have been working hard, like I said, since the season ended last year, and we're so excited and want to tell you fans, hey, come out and support these guys all year long. They're going to put a great team on the field for you, puts out maximum effort, and we're so excited. But I'd like to thank you for tuning in today to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield, brought to you by
GumTree Mortgage again. Jody Walls, Brady Brock, they do a tremendous job for us, supporting us. They've been doing that since we've done it. And this year, Miss Pam Brown picked it up. Pam Brown State Farm, she's supporting us this year. So those are our two Coach Show sponsors. They help us out. All that goes to those guys down there. But we're grateful for their support. We appreciate them.
Well, thanks again, fans, for tuning in, and go Bulldogs.
Here at Pam Brown State Farm, we are so excited to sponsor Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. We have served New Albany for a quarter of a century, and we are so proud to continue to serve this wonderful community far into the future. We look forward to a fantastic season for Coach Stubblefield and the Bulldogs. Good luck, and go Dogs!